To create your 3D diorama, you will fold your large square paper in half twice. Here's the first time and the second time. Make sure you crease it well and line up the edges. Then when you open it up, you find the center where the two folds meet. You can do that probably on the front because you're going to want to decide what is the sky and what is the ground. So I found where the two folds met right in the center, and you need to decide which one you don't, which of the four spots you don't want to be seen. So your least favorite spot, because the next step is to cross that square out. I would just use an oil pastel to do that, and then you're going to cut on the folded line up to the center. Make sure that you stop at that center point. Then when you go to fold it, I would fold it back, and then you'll fold it over that X'd off spot to make this stand up. We will not glue this yet, so after you cut it, you can also make sure that you know which part is the ground. So the square to the right of the X is going to be the ground of your diorama, and then the other two above it are going to be the sky. So if you want to mark that with an oil pastel, you sure can. Then before we add anything 3D to our diorama, we need to add 2D things. So if you want to glue on anything in the sky or anything flat on the ground, here I'm shading in a star and a little planet with oil pastels. So I'm using white on one side to make it lighter, a darker orange on the other side to make it darker, and then a main color in the center to make this look like a 3D sphere or a planet. This is something that could be in the background. So then after you have drawn this, you can cut it out. You can cut just about anything out that you want using our scrap bins, and then I would just decide where everything is going to go. And it will be much easier to attach if we do this before our diorama is tall and 3D, so that we can give it a massage and nothing will tip over. So I'm just cutting this out, cutting the inside part of my planet out so that you can see the background through it. And then I'm also cutting out my star. Any scraps that are nice and big, make sure that you put back into the scrap bins, or you can use them in other parts of your diorama. Then when you are ready to glue, I would just flatten out your paper. And then you can also, before gluing, decide if there's anything you want to draw on your background using oil pastels. Markers are not really going to show up on the thick paint that we use, so I would just use oil pastels to add some things. So you could add clouds, or you could just draw in stars and planets. You could add shadows on your stars and planets too. So go ahead and add anything that is just going to be flat in 2D first, and then we will use bottles of glue to attach anything. You will want to use a decent amount of glue just because of the thick paint that is on our paper. You are welcome to glue things onto the base of this. If you want your ground or your base of your planet to be a completely different color, you could cover the whole thing with another paper or oil pastels. It is totally up to you. Whenever you are done gluing though, just make sure that you flip your paper over and give it a massage. I would use a generous amount of glue on this project. Once you are done adding all of the 2D elements, whether it's drawing or gluing on paper, then you will put glue onto your X'd out square and gently press down your ground on top of it so that it stands up and is nice and sturdy before we add more 3D elements. The last thing that we will do is get a piece of square cardboard, write our name on it, and then we'll flip it over to attach our diorama to that base to make it sturdy.